Phantom Island. So, Phantom Island is the 27th studio album by Australian psychedelic rock band King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. It was released on June 13th, 2025. It was recorded concurrently with their prior album, Flight B741. The band has stated that Flight B741 contained the more rowdy songs, while this album contained the more laid-back tracks. This band also pushed to have more orchestration on this album compared to their previous efforts. So, Eric, your thoughts on this album / your experience with this band?
So I love King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Usually when a new album comes out, I usually listen to it. And there's usually some songs that I like. I do like their older stuff better because it was more of a jam rock. Their newest stuff hasn't really been connecting. I haven't really been connecting with. But this album is awesome. I listened to this front and back, and just the flow of it is really cool. What I like about these guys, and I don't know how big they are in Australia, like I'm assuming they are pretty big out there, but this is where I'm going to compare this band to Ghost. Not in terms of, I'm just going to use the analogy of Ghost. Ghost is like a metal band that's mostly hated throughout the metal community, which is hilarious. But I feel like Ghost tries to be good. Like they try to like really be good.
Right.
Whereas these guys don't give a shit. They just do exactly what they want. And I like, that's what I like about it, because it's like, they're not trying hard. Like, for instance, some of the lyrics in these songs, they're so ridiculous, but it's good though. Like it just like the jams, like you're not listening to this band for like intellectual lyrics. Like you're listening to this for like silly lyrics, but the jams are out of this world. Like they're sick. Like you have a full orchestra here, right? Like playing with these guys, and it sounds great. One of my favorite songs on this is Eternal Return. Especially when they have like the low like baritone vocals come in, like that was cool. And then Space Sick is my favorite favorite song on this album. It is by far amazing. I don't think it's perfect because I don't think like the problem with this band is I can't go to somebody who listens to pop music or just like your generic rock or radio stations and say, hey, check this band out. It's going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
It may blow their mind, but I think that they're going to be like, it's not my thing. So like this is a band for musicians.
Yes.
But not like, and I use the Ghost analogy because it's just like, they're not trying to be more than what, like they know who they are and they know what they're capable of, and they just play for themselves, which makes a great album in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, this is their 27th studio album, which is absolutely ridiculous. So we're gonna have very differing opinions on this one for this.
No.
Normally I like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. I do agree with you. The earlier stuff is like more resonant with me, whereas the current stuff is a bit whatever. This album, on my first listen, I was like, oh yeah, this is musician music. Like there's a lot of stuff going on. It's like cool stuff. But your last point of like trying to recommend this band to another person, or at least this album, who's never heard of this band, there isn't a single song where I'm like, that's the song you should listen to because this is what you're going to fall in love with. I felt like, and this is sort of the DNA of the band, but this whole album felt like a jam for the most part. It started as a jam and then they just like built on top of it and just put more complicated things on top of it over and over again, which, you know, to a certain extent, like I appreciate a lot because that's like pretty cool. That's like musician type of stuff. But at the same time, like I don't have an emotional connection with any of these songs. So I'm like, I
see what you're saying.
I like listening to it, but I'm like, like Dead Stick, like, cool. It's a cool song, but like I don't really know what you're talking about. and I don't
Mhm.
really care what this song is about to a certain extent when I listen to it, because I listen to some of the lyrics. I'm just like, this is nonsense. I I don't know what this song is, and like I didn't have an emotional connection to it, so I sort of got bored for a lot of this album.
Yeah.
There were parts, like there were arrangements that I'm like, oh, that was a cool arrangement, or like, oh, that was a cool part. But outside of that, I was like, it's sort of all the same, just like, showing off that you could do all these musical things. It's like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm sort of bored of this one.
Yes, the lyrics are definitely like hearsay, but who's more hearsay lyrics? King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, or Anthony Kiedis from the Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Definitely Anthony
right?
Kiedis.
So I think, yeah, I do appreciate the little nuances. Like they definitely had like a bare bones structure, and they just kept adding on to the songs. Like for
Mm-hmm.
instance, Pan Psych is a perfect example of that, with the pan flute, just just like in the background, and it just reminded me of, like, you got Andre, you know,
Andre 3000, yeah.
Andre 3000. I didn't say the number because I knew I was going to get it wrong. But it was like maybe they got him to come in and do that, but they very well could have.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yes, the songs definitely did not resonate with me. Like I actually enjoyed listening to this album from front to back,
I do agree with
and
you.
in
Front to
in
back is
one
the way.
go.
Yeah, front to back,
Like,
one goes how you listen to this album.
yeah, and because like if you start picking up the songs, I do agree. There's nothing really that sticks in your head.
Yeah.
It's like a musician's treat. Like, here you go. Here's some awesome
Yeah.
arrangements, and it's just that it felt like they had fun. Like even
Yes.
for Eternal Return, what I like about it is like you have almost like a 6-part vocal harmony going on, like
Mm-hmm.
with all these different octaves and stuff, like I don't know, like most of these songs are clocking in almost at 5 minutes each. Like the
Yes.
average
Yeah. Yeah.
song, which not is which isn't a length of time that most people like to listen to music, right?
Correct.
Um, so I thought, I also loved the album cover. Speaking of album covers, coming to this, I thought it was hilarious with all the lizards with the orchestras at the bottom. Like that's so hilarious, and they're just like burning shit. It's almost like some sort of satanic ritual or something.
Yeah, like definitely this band doesn't take things too seriously. So like there's so many of these like prog type of bands that just everything is art to them, and it's just so like serious that it takes the fun out of it. This album was
Mhm.
definitely fun. Like I appreciated that. There's a lot of fun moments in it. I just like I listened to it, I was like, okay, we've done this. Like I've heard this before from other bands, and like there's nothing new here.
Mhm.
It feels just like an improv jam. Like it's fun, but
Mhm.
I don't have an emotional connection to it.
Mhm.
But I did like Phantom Island. The lead track, the first one, that one was like, okay, this is gonna be interesting. Like there were a lot of weird rhythms in there that I was like, oh, this cool syncopation in the vocals. Like there's good
Mhm.
stuff, but and going back, and not to bring like a different album into the mix, but Sleep Token we were talking about earlier. Like when I was listening to that, those songs are clocking in around 6 minutes, 7 minutes around there. Those ones didn't feel like a 6 to 7 minute song listening to it. I was like, oh, this is like a 3 minute song. And I realized, oh, I've been listening to this thing for 8 minutes. Whereas these songs, I was like, okay, I mean, we're at the three
Mhm.
minute mark. Time to wrap it up, guys. That's like what I really felt when I was listening to all these songs, which,
Yeah.
you know, but I think it did sound good. Like obviously they're very talented musicians, and I don't
Mhm.
know, it just didn't resonate with me on this one.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I guess Eric, the final question before we get to the final thing, but like in terms of like this compared to their previous albums, like I think this is probably one of their top albums in the past 5-10 years. You would say?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's why I think I like this so much, is because what I've been hearing from this band, I haven't really kind of connected with, and it was like, it's okay, but I wouldn't even say it's okay. It's like it's almost okay. But when I listen to this, I'm like, yes, they're back.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was excited about that. And maybe one day they'll just fly to Vancouver Island and play a show. Maybe in Victoria, hopefully.
Yeah, maybe.
Or Vancouver. I'd go see them in Vancouver for sure.
Nice. All right. Final thoughts and ratings. What are you going to give this one?
I thoroughly enjoyed this album. I do agree. This album's only for musicians. It's not for like so. And you know what? Feel free to comment if you disagree. But I'm sure if I showed this to my wife, she'd be like, "I have no idea what I'm listening to right now."
That's true. It is not for like, yeah. If you only listen to pop music, this is not the album for you for sure.
Exactly. I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10.
Okay, that's pretty good.
I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I do emotionally connect with this album because it's like the band is back in my opinion. So maybe that's why I like it so much.
Yeah. That's fair enough. That's a good reason. Yeah, like for me, I just didn't connect with the album at all. I thought it was good, like on an intellectual level, but from like an emotional level, I just like, all right, let's get on with this. So, I think I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 for this one. Definitely above average. It's good. It was good enough record, but it's not something that I was like, oh, this is like, I need to tell people about this record.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
All right. So that was our discussion on Phantom Island by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. For those of you following along with us every single week, I don't know why we decided to do this, but we're going to be talking about the brand new album by Alestorm. The album is called The Thunder Fist Chronicles. For those of you not familiar with Alestorm, they are a pirate metal band. They are.
That looks like a horror Disney film cover.
Yeah. Pyro metal, a sub genre of metal. I think there's technically only 2 bands in that genre of music that have made it. Actually, Alestorm might be the only one. I can only think of 1 or 2. Actually, there's probably 2, but pyro metal.
That is, I'm actually excited for this. I'm excited to throw my ears into this one.
It's gonna be a ridiculous time, but that's it for the podcast for another week. This is a Crossroads Music Podcast here at twitch.tv/the Crossroads Music Podcast. Catch us on Spotify, Apple Music. We're live streaming at 10 p.m. ET, 7 p.m. PT. And that's basically it for another week. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we will catch you all next time.